What's going on? The Ape Coach from Six Pack Gaming, where we bring you the best play to earn NFT games and new Metaverse projects. Now today we are doing a video on Pegaxy. If you guys haven't heard of it, this is quickly taking the entire blockchain gaming space by storm. This has been an absolute blockbuster since day one of the launch, and I covered it way back in October, I believe, and let you guys know that this was coming. I thought it was going to be a huge banger, and it has not disappointed. So if you guys aren't familiar with it, we are going to be going over the complete starter's guide today. I'm going to show you exactly how you can get set up, whether you're a scholar or you're looking to invest as an owner, how you can breed the Pegas, the racing, all the mechanics of the game, why this is so insanely profitable right now, and just walk you through all the steps A to Z, because I've done a game guide video on this way back at the very start of the game, mid-November. That's got, almost 40,000 views. It did very well, but there's been a lot of updates and changes and improvements since then, and the token prices have absolutely skyrocketed. The earnings potential is astronomical. So we are going to tell you exactly how you can get into it, the best ways to, take profits, breeding strategies, everything you would want to know about Pegaxy. We're going to cover in today's video. So make sure you smash that thumbs up button, make sure you're subscribed and got notifications turned on, and let's dive right into this. The very first thing you're going to want to do, whether you're a scholar or an owner or investor, whatever, you're going to want to have a Metamask wallet set up. Okay, so you're going to come here to metamask.io, click download, and then you can get it for Chrome, iOS, Android. All you do, install MetaMask for Chrome, and it will give you the little pop-up. I've already got it installed here. It also works on the Brave browser and many of these other browsers as well. Once you've installed MetaMask, you should have the little extension up here in your browser. If it's not there, you're just going to have to go to extensions and make sure you pin it so that it shows up on your little bar here. And then you're going to come here. You're not going to have a wallet account set up here, so you're going to have something that says create account. Okay, so you're going to hit that. And then very important, when you start doing that, it is going to give you a seed recovery phrase. This is your password to access all of your wallets, all of your assets on that MetaMask. So you have to write that down somewhere. Make sure you have it saved somewhere, extremely safe. Do not share that with anyone ever. Anyone ever gets that, all of your assets are 100% gone forever. Okay, so just want to make that abundantly clear. Write down that seed phrase. If you forget it, you're screwed. Okay, once you've got MetaMask installed and you've created your account, by default you're going to be on the Ethereum network here. Okay, so what you need to do is add the Polygon Network to your MetaMask. Okay, and so I've already got it here, but if you don't, you go down here, you click add network, and then it's going to take you to this page where you're going to enter in the network name and all of this info. And I will link this here. I will link this down below. This is from the Polygon's documents. This is the network you have to add. So you're just going to take the Polygon Mainnet here. Okay, you're going to copy that. Go back here, paste that as the network name. You're going to take the RPC URL here. You're going to go over. You're going to copy that. You're going to put the chain ID 137. You're going to put the currency symbol as MATIC, and then you are going to put the block explorer URL, which is this polygonscan.com. You're just going to enter all that info, click save, and then that is going to add that network to your MetaMask. Then you will have the Polygon network all set up here. Now, one thing you will need is some MATIC on your wallet. This is the currency that the Polygon network runs off of. So anytime you place a transaction, you're going to need some MATIC to cover gas fees. Okay, so now if you are a scholar and you are renting for free, you don't actually need any MATIC until you go to claim your VIS, okay, and withdraw your earnings. All right, that's the only time. Otherwise, if you're trying to interact with the marketplace, if you're trying to buy a Pega or rent a Pega off the marketplace with a off the public marketplace, you are going to need some MATIC. Now, the gas fees on MATIC are extremely cheap, so you can get away with just a few MATIC. So one of the easiest ways to do that is to come to an exchange like Binance or what have you. Go to the trading platform. You're going to search for MATIC here, and here we go. You're going to say, I want to buy 5 MATIC. That's going to cost you $8.15. You click buy. once you've got that, go to your wallet, fiat and spot. You're going to search for MATIC. All right, and then you're going to click withdraw over here. Let me move this down so you guys can see. You're going to click withdraw, and then the most ideal scenario here is that you'll be able to withdraw it here on the MATIC or Polygon Network. Now, every so often, this withdrawal feature gets suspended on Binance just due to congestion in the server. So you can do this to set a reminder when you can withdraw next, but you know, you don't really want to sit around waiting for that forever. So another alternative that you can do is you can actually get BNB, withdraw that onto the Binance Smart Chain, so BEP20, and then you can bridge the funds over to the Polygon Network. So I will show you how to do that real quick here. If it is suspended and you want to get the funds over right away, you definitely still can. It's just going to take a few extra steps. So I'm going to walk you through those now. Just bear in mind, there is a few extra things you have to do here. Okay, so the first is going to be, you're going to have to add the Binance Smart Chain to your Metamask. Okay, so just like we did with the Polygon Network here, we're going to add Binance Smart Chain, add to Metamask. Okay, and it's this first one right from Binance.com. It is going to give you the info. So the same thing here, just like we did before. You're going to come up to your Metamask. You're going to open up the networks. You're going to add network, and then you're going to fill in all those details to add the Binance Smart Chain. Okay, now once you have done that, you're going to have the Binance Smart Chain set up on your MetaMask here. And, you know, there you go. You won't have any funds in it yet, but we are going to need this for the first step of this process of getting things over to the Polygon Network so that you can start using Pegaxy. Okay, so we are going to go back to Binance here. Now that we have the BSC set up on the MetaMask, you're going to go back to trade. All right, you're going to search for BNB because that is the gas fee token for the Binance Smart Chain. And you're going to buy however much BNB you need. Let's say you want to buy 50 bucks worth. That's 0.13 BNB. You're going to buy that. You're going to go back to your wallet, fiat and spot. And then you are going to search for BNB. Click withdraw. And now here, very important, once again, you have to select the BSC, Binance Smart Chain, BEP20. That is the network. This old BEP2 is like, I don't know, a legacy network or something that I've never seen anything used for. I've never used anything for it. So make sure you're selecting this one, BSC, and this is just confirm it's the right network. Yes, I'm sure. Okay, and now that you've bought your BNB, you're gonna wanna get the BNB off of Binance here and onto your MetaMask wallet, okay? And so here, I'm gonna be on the Binance Smart Chain. So all you're gonna do is click this, copy your address here, and then you're gonna paste it in here. Okay, so it's gonna be 0x1237985,000, right? So whatever your address is, now this is obviously saying that this isn't a real address, but so you're gonna paste your address in there. You're gonna have the BEP20 Binance Smart Chain selected, and then you are going to withdraw your funds, okay? And so once you've done that, after a couple minutes, it will show up in your wallet here, and you'll have your BNB up here. The next step in the process, now that you have your BNB on your MetaMask wallet here, what we need to do is get some funds over onto the Polygon Network. And one of the main tokens that they use within Pegaxy is the USDT, which is a tethered stable coin that just kind of tracks the US dollar value. So what you can do to make sure you're getting the right contract address, come to CoinGecko here, search for USDT, and then you want to come to the Binance Smart Chain, copy this address, and then if you come to something like poocoin.app, you can enter that in. It will give you the USDT thing here. Then you can click trade, and you can swap. Let's say you want to swap 0.13 BNB that we just bought for USDT. So that's going to give you 49.53. Okay, so about the 50 bucks that we just bought. Okay, all you're going to do, you're going to click swap, and then you're going to confirm the transaction here. Now keep in mind, it is going to cost you a little bit of extra BNB in the gas fees, so make sure you're not using all of your BNB here, because you still need some to cover those fees. Okay, so I would leave, you know, if you have 0.24 here like I do, I would only do like 0.2. Okay, and then you still have 0.04 to cover all the gas fees and all of that sort of stuff, right? Okay, so once you've done that, I'm not going to approve that because I'm not going to swap this right now. But once you've done that, you are going to then have some USDT on your MetaMask here. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to bridge from the Binance Smart Chain over to the Polygon Network. Okay, so this is how you can get your funds over so that you can start being able to interact with Pegaxy and, you know, interact on the Polygon Network. So all you're going to do is say, I want to send from the Binance Smart Chain USDT, and let's say you have, I don't know, $2,000 that you're trying to port over there, right? You're trying to buy a Pega. You're going to do $2,000, and it's going to go from Binance Smart Chain to Polygon. That's what we want. And so all you're going to do, you're going to connect your wallet. Okay, connect. And then it is going to say, obviously I don't have enough in here, so it's going to say insufficient funds. If you have that money, it'll say transfer over. Okay, and then you'll hit that. It'll pop up the little confirmation window in MetaMask. Once again, you'll confirm that, and then it'll take a few minutes, and then it'll bridge over to Polygon. Okay, now once you have the USDT on Polygon, now you are almost ready to go over to Pegaxy. Almost. But because you don't have any MATIC on there yet, you're not going to be able to cover any gas transactions on the Polygon Network. So what you're gonna have to do is come to this right here, macandcheese.finance, MATIC Polygon Mainnet faucet. Okay, so this is a faucet that basically gives you a free, very small amount of MATIC so that you can cover that very first gas fee on the Polygon Network. Okay, so all you're gonna do is you're gonna paste in your wallet address. So again, you're going to copy it from up here, and again, right here. So you just click copy, paste it in here, and then you're going to click send my MATIC, and then it's going to give you like a little CAPTCHA thing, and then give you a little pop-up. You're going to confirm, and then it'll send you 0.001 MATIC. Okay, so once you have that, then you will finally have USDT on here. You'll have a little bit of MATIC to cover the very first gas fee. Now you want to make sure that you are getting some MATIC to cover future gas fees and all of that sort of stuff. So you're going to come over to QuickSwap here. This is the main decentralized exchange on the Polygon Network. So it's just quickswap.exchange. And what you're going to do is you're going to take USDT that you just sent over. So there's the $2,000 we sent over, and I want to make sure that I have, you know, 5 MATIC, we'll say. Okay, and it says that's going to cost you $8.20. No problem. Hit swap, confirm the swap, and then it's going to give you the MetaMask pop-up again. All you do is confirm that, and then you'll be good to go. Okay, so we're going to reject that for right now, but that is essentially how you do it. The much quicker and easier way is if you have a friend or someone you know that already has some MATIC on the Polygon Network, just get them to send you 1 or 2 MATIC to your Polygon wallet on your MetaMask, and then you can skip all of these additional steps and you can just move right over to Pegaxy. But now that we went through all of those steps, all of that process of buying BNB, withdrawing it to your MetaMask, swapping that for USDT, bridging the USDT over to the Polygon Network, getting yourself some MATIC here to be able to do your first transaction on the Polygon Network, and then getting some MATIC and keeping the rest USDT on your wallet. Now we are finally able to go over to Pegaxy here. Just forgot to mention there, Kyber Swap is the other option you have for getting the MATIC from your USDT, and this is the main exchange that Pegaxy uses for their PGX token and the VIS token, which are their 2 in-game tokens. You just come here, swap now, and then you can see like your MATIC, your USDT, what have you. Now you can buy Pegas in the market with either USDT, or sometimes they will have PGX, which is the main governance token in Pegaxy. So you can get both of those through Kyber Swap. You can either swap your USDT to PGX or your MATIC, and then that's how you can get that token on your wallet here. And then once you do the swap, if you haven't already added it to your MetaMask, it'll give you like a little pop-up to add it, and you'll be able to do it there. Otherwise, if you come to CoinGecko, you just search for PGX, it will give you it here. It shows it's on the Polygon Network. You can just click this little button, add to MetaMask, and it will add it, or you can copy the address and you can go down to the very bottom where it says import tokens. You can paste in the address and then it will add that to your MetaMask. Okay, so you've got your funds, you're ready to buy your first Pega. Let's talk about, what you should be looking for in the Pega, what the differences are, why, there's such varied prices. You got 2,200 here, you got 17,500 here. So we're going to go over all of that, and they have thankfully added a ton of filters here to the market to make it so much quicker and easier to be able to find what you're looking for. Okay, so what we are going to want to do is sort by low to high. Generally, you don't want to be overpaying for a Pega, but what you're going to see is this is going to bring up a bunch of Pegas with these like threes and stuff like that here. So this is the amount of times that this Pega has bred already. Okay, so a 0 out of 7 means it's a virgin. It's never been bred before, so it still has all 7 of its breeds remaining. If it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's how many times it is already bred. And the higher number it is here, the more expensive it is going to be to continue to breed that Pega, because the cost of breeding goes up every breed count. So if you check here at a 0 out of 7 for the first breed, it costs 2,000 vis per Pega, and then 30 PGX in addition to that just per breed. Okay, so to breed 2 0 out of 7s, it would cost 4,000 vis and 30 PGX. To breed 2 1 out of 7s, it would be 8,000 vis and 30 PGX, and so on and so forth. So ideally, if you're looking to breed and to be able to, multiply your Pegas, you're going to be wanting to look for the 0 out of 7s. So if you come to the market, you come here to breed count, they have this nice little slider. You can just slide it all the way down to 0, click filter, and now this sorts by the lowest to highest price and a 0 breed count. So you can see right now the lowest 0 breed is $2,680. Okay, and you might be asking why the price is so high. That is because the profitability of this game and the value of the 2 tokens for this game have skyrocketed. Okay, so this was 3 cents just two and a half weeks ago, and it is now 22 cents. So this is VIS. This is the main earnings token, Vigorous, that you get from the races in Pegaxy. And in addition to that, PGX, this launched at 2 cents and it is at almost 90 cents here. So that has gone up about 45x. This has gone up about 22x. So that is why the price on the market has gone up. But this is going to be your cost for a 0 out of 7 Pega here. And again, if you want to breed, you have to have a male and a female. Okay, so you could buy these 2 guys. It's going to put you out about $5,400, about that. But then you're going to have 2 0 out of 7s, and you're going to be able to breed those for another 4,000 bis plus 30 PGX, which is a lot cheaper than, another $2,600 to be able to buy another one. So it is cheaper to, if you're going to breed them for additional Pegas, and that brings your average price per Pega down the more you're able to breed with them. Now, in addition to the breed count, there's a couple other things to take note. There is a bloodline, so it goes from Zan, Clin, Campona to Haas. Haas is the most rare because there were the fewest of them in the initial NFT sale and the founding Pega sale, and Zans were the most abundant. So that is kind of the main difference between those. There's also a difference in cooldowns here. And so this is the initial guide. This is going to be adjusted soon here, and I will tell you about that in just a second. But this was the initial here. Let me just open it up so you can see. So the main difference in the, what kind of drove the value of these is that the cooldown times are different based on the breed of the Pega. Okay, so the Haas has the shortest cooldown breed. So the newborns can race after just 24 hours. And then after a Pega has been bred once, a Haas Pega can breed again every 24 hours. Okay, and then Camponas, they take 48 hours for both of these, Clin's 72, and Zan's 96. Okay, now it is worth noting, all baby Pegas, no matter what the bloodline, they do have a 96-hour cooldown before they can breed again. Okay, so it's only if the Pega is like a 1 out of 7 or above, that is when the Haws will have a 24-hour cooldown for breeding, and the Zans, you know, keep the 96 regardless, so it doesn't really matter. Now, one thing they're thinking of changing to help balance out the bloodlines a little bit better, because there is no difference in the race outcomes with these. Okay, so all of these Pegas are going to be able to earn the same amount. They're going to be able to win the same amount of races. So you know, it's not pay to win. That's been one of the primary focuses of this team, is they do not want to make this game pay to win. They want it to be fair for any level of investor. Okay, so that is something that I think is critical and crucial to this, and one of the things that's, you know, allowed them to be so successful. But so what they're going to do for their balancing is they're going to basically flip this row here. Okay, so that the Hawses will still keep the shortest cooldown for breeding for the additional breeds, but the race cooldowns will swap. Okay, so Zans will only have a 24-hour cooldown to be able to race baby Zans, whereas a Haws will have 96 hours to be able to race. Okay, so then Hawses, you'll be able to breed them a lot faster, but they're going to take longer to be able to actually race them. Okay, so I think this is really good, and it'll help to balance the earnings potential out between the bloodlines, because technically if the Haws you can breed every 24 hours and then those babies can instantly race the very next day, you're getting more Pegas out and able to earn quicker, so you're able to compound your earnings faster. Whereas Zans kind of get screwed both ways, right? They've got to wait 4 days for the baby Pega to be able to breed again. They've got to wait 4 days regardless of how many times they bred to be able to breed them again, and they've got to wait 4 days just to be able to race them. So they can only race every 4 days when you're breeding a new one. So I think that'll drastically change things here and help balance things out for sure. And so it'll be, the other thing to keep in mind here is there is a breed type. Okay, so you can see here pacer, pacer, pacer. Pretty much all of these are pacers, but there is a line, and it goes from founding, which are the most rare and the most limited supply, down to legendary, down to epic, rare, and then pacer. Okay, so pacers are the least rare, and pacers can be bred infinitely, whereas the others have a limited supply. And we will come back to the resources channel in our Discord here and show you how this works. Okay, so we have, here are the different breed types. So 2 foundings can make a legendary. That is the only way you can get a legendary, is by breeding 2 founding Pegas together. And then in order to be able to get an epic, you have to breed 2 legendaries. To get a rare, it has to be, you know, an epic and a founding, an epic or a legendary, or an epic and an epic. And then anything below that, a rare and a rare, or a pacer and a pacer, is going to give you pacers. Okay, so eventually it gets diluted out till everything that you're going to be breeding is going to be pacers, and eventually, depending on how much, you know, the founding and legendaries get bred, those will, you know, come to a limit of supply. All right, and then here is the way the bloodlines work as well. You want to keep in mind, if you're wanting to breed a Haws Pega, you have to breed 2 Hawses together. If you breed mixed bloodlines, it will always be whatever the lowest bloodline is. So if you breed a Haws with a Zan, the baby is going to come out as a Zan. If you breed a Haws with a Campona, it's going to be a Campona. If you breed a Campona with a Zan, it's going to be Zan. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If you're wanting to get a Haws and a legendary, you would have to breed a founding Haws with a founding Haws to get a legendary Haws, or a legendary Haws and a legendary Haws to get an epic Haws, and so on and so forth. Okay, so once you figured that out, you're like, okay, I'm gonna get 2 of these guys. I want to start breeding. There is, what do we have here? There's Clins, there's Zans, there's Camponas. They're all over the place. Let's say I want to do 2 Camponas. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this guy here, the male, and this one here, that's the female. One thing in addition to this that you can check is their stats here and their win percentages if they happen to have raced already. Okay, now if you're buying virgin Pegas, more often than not, they're going to still be on their cooldown when they're in the market, and they're not going to have any race history to be able to tell you the win percentage, but you can look at their overall stats. Now, keep in mind that these really don't have any solidified effect as of yet. They will have somewhat of an impact of the RNG race outcome of the race, depending on the stadium effects in the stadiums, but these aren't set in stone because the base stats of all your Pegas are still hidden. These are just the bonus stats, okay? And even if you have like 9 in speed and 9 in fire, and the stadium is high fire and high speed or whatever, that doesn't guarantee that you're going to win. It just simply slightly increases your percentage chance of winning, okay? So it just basically improves your RNG probabilities, but it doesn't guarantee, just because you have matching stats with the stadium, that it's going to guarantee you the win or a top 3 placement. It just slightly improves your odds, okay? So that's kind of how that works. So I wouldn't be too concerned, especially if you're breeding a ton of these. I wouldn't be too concerned with their stats. The main thing you might want to look to, which I know some people kind of evaluate these off of, is just the total number of stats that they have. So this one's pretty low. It's got 1, 3, 4, 1, 0, 3. Okay, so you've got 3, 4, 8, 11. So this one only has 14 total bonus stats here. That is super low. I have some with like 30 plus. Like if we go to, the one of my founding Pegas that I got here, not the greatest stats, but still quite decent. He's got 8, 8, 8, 7, 2, and 1. Okay, so you've got, 9, 8, 8, 7, 2, and 1. So you've got 10 here plus 8. That's already 18. Plus you have another 17 stats here, right? So clearly way more total bonus stats there. So that's one way that some people evaluate those, and so you can kind of take that as you'd like. But again, just keep in mind that those stats are not set in stone, and the race outcomes dependent on those stats can change over time. All right, that is buying your Pega off the market. Let's talk renting. Let's say you're a scholar or an aspiring scholar, or you just want to try the game out and see if you can rent it out, try the races, all that sort of thing. So right here you can pay a rent fee, which is in PGX, and this is a timed rental where you get that Pega for whatever days it says here. So this says 1 day you get the Pega and it costs you 77 PGX. Okay, so you would pay that amount of PGX, which right now, I don't know, that's around like $60 or something at the current price of PGX. Let's see, what is it? 77, yeah, so $68, which I think is pretty high. But you would pay that, but you would get that Pega for a full 24 hours, and you would be able to do all the races on that Pega until that time's up. Okay, you have another one here that you can rent this for an entire month. It's going to cost you 2,000 PGX, which is pretty expensive. I think at that point, it would make more sense to just buy a Pega, because that's about the same cost as buying one, right? That's $1,850. But, that's that's up to you to decide. The next option here is the share profit. Now these are typically gone extremely fast. So you can see there's a couple 10% here, a couple 5%. Usually these are going to be a lower percentage, but these guys have 25 out of 25 energy. You get 10%. So if you're wanting to try it for free, you can click on that. You have to confirm a CAPTCHA to make sure you're not a robot. You can click rent, and then it says it's already rented by another. So you're gonna have to constantly be refreshing this and trying to snag one of these, because they are going to go extremely fast. Okay, so it's already rented. So this can be very difficult. Now, one thing that I've heard from some of our kind of pending scholars here that you can do is you can sort these by low to high for the price. Okay, and then what you want to do is try to look for a Pega with a decent amount of energy on the PGX rental here, because you can go through the races a lot quicker than the energy replenishes. So this one here, or this one here, so this one has 13 energy out of 25. Okay, so normally you get about 25 races per day and the energy replenishes about 1 per hour. But because this is starting at 13 energy, you can burn through those races in probably about 20 minutes. Okay, so then you get it down to 0 out of 25. Then you still have 23 and a half hours, so about 24 energy that is going to be regained during that rental period. So rather than only getting 24 or 25 races out of that 1 day rental, you can actually get what would that be, like 38 races. right? Or 37, depending on how long it takes you to get through that. But you're going to get a few bonus races that you're going to be able to earn with. And so that can kind of help offset this cost. Now, this is going to be 80 PGX, which is $70. So you might be wondering, is that worth it? Does that make sense? Well, if we consider that this thing has a 22% win rate, let's say, right? You can kind of work it out to see if it makes sense. So let's say we have a 0.217 times, let's say we're going to get 37 races. So that means you're going to place top 3 in about 8 races. Okay. And you can actually check out their racing history too, to see, you know, where they placed. They got second, third, first, all that sort of thing, right? So you have a chance to place top 3 in 8 races. Now, the prize pool for the top 3 is 175 VIS. Okay. So, and it's only the top 3 that get earnings. So if you do 175 divided by 3, on average, you're going to earn about 58 VIS per win. So then if we multiply that by 8, that will give you about 466 VIS that you could potentially earn based on, you know, the numbers that you could potentially earn from renting this Pega for that one day and getting those bonus like 12 or 13 races, right? So then 466 times the price of this, which has been rocketing recently, that would net you $104 or almost $105 if that worked out. So if you're paying however much that was, $70, but you're earning 100, you're actually making $30 profit. So in that sense, that would make sense. Now, the one thing to keep in mind is that that is, you know, assuming that the price of this is going to be the exact same that it is now or higher. And it's assuming that the race outcomes are actually going to, you know, net you that amount, right? These are all just based on averages, so it can be above or below that, but that's, you know, even if you earned like 425 or something, right? Let's see, how much would it be if you got like 425? You're still earning 95 bucks, so you're still up like $25 profit, right? So as long as you're getting like at least like 350 VIS from that Pega during that day, during those like 37 races, that would be profitable. So I would definitely do that. Just looking at the numbers on a very objective, you know, basis there. If I were looking to pay to rent, this is probably looking like the best option that's there right now. Okay, and then there's a couple of those too. So, you know, you could stack it up. Now, if you are a renter, it's important to note you can only rent 3 Pegas. Okay, you cannot multi-account, you cannot multi-tab, you cannot open multiple Chrome browsers and stuff. They have caught so many people doing this and banned them and banned a ton of Pega assets as well. Okay, now if you're an owner and you're renting on the public marketplace, it's not likely that your assets are going to be banned. The only time that the actual Pegas are banned is if there is essentially like pretty obvious repeated malicious activities with those same Pegas. And, you know, in that sense, it's pretty obvious that, you know, something not ordinary is going on with those. So that is everything to do with rentals. Now we went over how to purchase a Pega, how to rent a Pega. Now let's talk about breeding, okay? Because that is what most of you that are wanting to get into this are going to want to get into, because that is how the profitability starts scaling exponentially and you start getting some of these insane returns from this, because they have one of the best rental systems I've seen in any play to earn game yet. And I think that is one of the biggest contributing factors to the overall success of this game, is the automatic rental profit sharing system. So as you can see, we have all these Pegas here rented out to scholars. They are doing the races every day, and we have a set profit share split. So right now we do a 70-30 split, where as the owner, I keep 70% in order to be able to keep breeding at an ideal rate, and the scholars receive 30%. Okay, so every time they win one of their races, they automatically get that 30% sent straight to their wallet, their account. and we get the 70%. And then if you ever want to check how much you have in your wallet, you can click this. It'll show, you know, your wallet, what's all in there. You can also go to my assets and go to my profits, and this will show you how much you have claimable. And it's important to note here that the VIS that you earn in game is locked for a 15-day period, and then every time you claim, that VIS resets. Okay, so that is something to note, that you'll only be able to withdraw your earnings from this once every 15 days. We briefly went over the breeding costs a little bit earlier there, but just to pop it up here again, this is what the breeding costs are. We'll blow it up a little bit bigger so you can see. So it's always 30 PGX for the entire breed. And then this is going to be per Pega, the VIS cost. Okay, so if you're breeding a 0 out of 7 and a 1 out of 7, it's going to cost 2,000 plus 4,000, so a total of 6,000 VIS, but then just one amount of 30 PGX. Okay, and then you can see as you start to scale up, or as you start to breed more, the breeds become more and more expensive. And generally, once you've passed about 2 out of 7 breeds, it becomes less profitable to breed a new Pega than it is to just buy a Pega off the floor of the market. So you have to kind of evaluate that and see what makes sense for you. Sometimes you can breed a 3 out of 7. Like if you're breeding a 3 out of 7 with a 1 out of 7, it's going to cost you 12,000 VIS, which is the same cost it would be if you were doing 2 out of 7s. So in that sense, you could breed them up to 4 out of 7 and have it still make sense. But you just have to make sure you're evaluating, you know, what the cost of VIS is and the cost of the, you know, buying a Pega off the market, etc., etc. But to show you guys how breeding works, I'm just going to quickly take back my 2 founding Pegas here, and then I'll just be able to rent them out right away, right after again. But I'm going to take these back. And that is one thing. If you're doing a shared profit rental, the owner can take those back at any time. So take note of that. If you're someone trying to rent the Pegas on the open marketplace, if you're doing the share profit, the owner could technically take that back whenever they want. If you're doing the paid PGX rental, then it will you'll get the Pega for that entire time that you paid for, right? Because then once they are back in your assets or in your stable, you're going to come up here to breeding. You will see your available Pegas that are able to breed. Okay, so you have your males on the left here, your females on the right. You're just going to select both of those. It'll highlight, it'll give you the breed. You're going to enter in your name here. Now, if you're not sure what name you want to do it, you can use the dice here and it will just give you a random name. So we've got Adrian Beer, sure. And then all you're going to do is click approve. You're going to confirm that transaction. Because we're not actually breeding them right now, we're just going to reject. Then you're going to approve this one. It'll be the same thing, confirm that. And then once those go through, it'll take a minute or two, and then it will show a pink breed button here. You're gonna click breed. Again, you're gonna confirm the transaction, and then it will show a pop-up window once it's all done. Again, it'll take a couple minutes, and then it'll say, you know, congratulations, you have a new baby Pega, or whatever, congratulations on your new Pega, and then it'll say view my Pegas. And then you'll click it and it will take you back to your Pega list here, and you'll be able to see your baby Pegas. They'll be 0 out of 25 energy and they will show as resting. And then you will, when you open them up, you'll be able to see their cooldown. So these guys we bred about 3.5 days ago. These are Zans, so they have the 4-day cooldown. So you can see there's 15 hours left on the cooldown here. Okay, that is how breeding works. It really is that simple. And then once those are bred, your Pegas that you just bred are going to also have a cooldown until they can breed again. Those cooldowns will be reset, and then, you know, once the cooldowns are over, you'll be able to breed them again or what have you. Now, because I took these back and they were already rented out to scholars, I am going to quickly show you how you can return them to the scholars that had them the quickest, easiest way ever, which is such an awesome thing that they added here. So Pegaxy put together their own dashboard to track all the stats of Pegaxy. This thing is phenomenal. It shows you how much VIS has been minted and burned. We'll go over this in a little bit, but one of the things that's really nice is you can go to Pegas, you can search for idle Pegas, and then you'll see the 2 that I took back here, and it gives you the last address that they were rented out to. So you can just click on that, copy the address, click on this to open up that specific Pega, and then you can quickly go back to rent out. This is how you can set up a scholarship as well. Okay, so let's actually go through that. So you come to the Pega, you click rent out to race, you go to direct because you want to send this to a direct person. We're going to enter the scholar's address. We're going to set the renter gets 30%, the owner gets 70. You're going to approve this. Again, you're going to have a little transaction. I always like to click edit here and just do a high thing, a high gas fee, because it still costs you like 1 or 2 cents and it saves you a lot of time. So generally I just like to crank up the gas fees to save time there. You can see that transaction already went through. Now again, the UI here usually takes a minute to kind of update once the transaction has gone through. So we'll give this a minute, and then once that's gone through, the direct rent will highlight here. Now direct rent is highlighted here. So the last one was just approving your spending. And now we are actually sending the Pega back to the scholar. So we confirm that. I forgot to speed up the gas fee there. So if you do that, you can always go back. You can click speed up, you can click high, or you can set your own gas fees. If I really want to speed it up, I'll put like 50 and 100. But that already went through that quick. So again, it'll take a minute for the UI to update, but once it does, it'll say, you know, Pega successfully rented, and then it'll be sent off to your scholar and they'll be able to continue racing, you know, just like normal. So that's how you can quickly take back your Pega, rent it back out, super fast and easy thanks to the Apollo dashboard. So there we have it, complete. It is renting. And then you can view the transaction on Polygon Scan if you want. But now if you go back to your assets and you take a look at this Pega, it will show it as renting. All right, so if we go all the way down, there we go. Now it is renting. Now we've gone over all of the sort of main mechanics of this, except for the actual core mechanic, which is how you earn from this, which is the racing. Okay, and now there is 2D racing and 3D racing. Now most of you have probably seen the 2D racing if you've been, you know, watching things on this, where it's basically just this little 2D kind of text looking thing and the Pegas just kind of scroll across. However, they have been gradually rolling out the 3D racing to more and more Pega owners, and now it is at the point where all founding owners, all legendary owners, all epic owners, and all rare owners of Pegas get access to the 3D racing. So in order to turn that on, you come up to your wallet here, come down here and just click enable 3D gameplay. You're going to confirm that and just note that it is in a closed beta. And then once you come to racing here, you're going to click pick Pega. It is going to load the 3D racing. Alrighty, so then once you pick your Pega, you're just going to click find match. You are going to have to confirm a transaction to send the Pega into racing, because right now it's in resting mode. So you have to send it to the racing stadium essentially. And now you see it says it's finding a match here. So typically this usually takes around like 10 to 15 seconds for it to be able to find a lobby here. All right, so it said it found a match. It gives you a little MetaMask pop-up. You're gonna have to sign it and it will enter you into the race here. So here you can see this is what it looks like in the 3D racing. So we are in lane 3 here. It has us highlighted and highlighted on the side in blue. It's just kind of filling the lobby now with the other Pegas. We're just waiting for everything to fill up here, and it's kind of showing you as they're all joining in. And then once the lobby is full, it does the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go! And so then here you see we are in 4th place right now. It'll keep you highlighted and let you know where you're at. Oh, we're shifting around a little bit. We're still in 4th here. We're getting very close to these guys. We'll see if we can pull it off. Come on. You've got it. You're so close. Oh, they are starting to break away. I don't know if there's any hope for us. We are starting to drag behind here a little bit. Come on. Let's go. Oh no, this guy overtook him. We are now in 5th. Look at them go. I don't know if there's any hope left here. This is a 4,000 meter race. Now each race is normally about, you know, a minute, 40 seconds to a minute. So you can see we ended up in 5th there. So unfortunately no earnings. We're close to catching up to 4th, but no earnings for that one. So it's only these top 3 that end up earning. They take the prize pool of 175 VIS for the race. Okay, and then you can see the 1st, 2nd, 3rd breakdowns. 105 VIS goes to number 1, Bat Out of Hell. very good name. He crushed it. And then 44 goes to second and 26 to third. Okay, so at the current price of this, one win of one race, 105 vis, that is $23 right now. Insane from one of those. And again, each Pega has 25 energy. Okay, so they can do 25 races per day. So, you know, obviously you're not going to win all of those. The average win rate is around like 24%. And so if we do that same sort of, well, we don't have to do the calculations. Essentially, each Pega, if you're doing all the racing for it and you're the owner of the Pega, keeping 100% profits, it's pretty easy to earn about 300 vis per day per Pega. Okay, and so at the current price here, and that's being pretty modest, I would say, in terms of the earnings. There's definitely potential to earn, you know, closer to 350, maybe a little bit beyond, but let's say 300. That is $66 per day per Pega. So that is where the insane earnings from this come into play. Now, with that, in addition to the scholarship rental program where you have the auto profit sharing split, you can have hundreds of these Pegas automatically, you know, well, essentially automatically racing and earning for you. The scholars get to do the races. They keep their 30%, which is still incredible earnings, far beyond any other play to earn game. And they get to keep those earnings for free without any upfront initial investment, right? So, you know, one of these wins, even if they get a first tier and they're only keeping 30%, that's still like what, 31 vis or so. They're still getting almost $7 US for one single win, and they get 25 races a day, right? And we worked out that other one, you know, you get about 8 wins per day. Let's say the average, you're going to win about like 6 or so, right? So if we do 6 times, what was it, like 58, that's 350 vis per day. So if the scholar is keeping 30% of that, that's still 104 vis, which right now is $23 per day for free per Pega. And scholars can have 3 Pegas. So that means you could be a scholar getting into this for free, earning close to $75 US per day with 0 upfront investment. Absolutely mind-boggling, right? And so that is why this game has absolutely exploded. The earnings potential is insane. The scholarship automated rental system is phenomenal. Everything about this game has just been crushing it. And in addition to that, the economy of this game is the strongest of any play to earn game out there. Okay, so since the very start of this game, 90% of all the vis that has ever been minted here, so there's only been 900 million vis ever minted, 810 million of that has already been burned through people breeding additional Pegas, right? So 90% of the total supply that's ever been minted has already been burned. And you can see, because there was this initial unlock period with the day 1 users, there is a day every 15 days. There is a period where there's a bit of a spike of unlocked vis earnings. But other than those couple days, the burn ratio actually outpaces the minting ratio. So that is why we're seeing this crazy high 90% vis burned compared to the vis minted. And in addition to how strong the economy already is in this game, they have some massive burning events coming up here for Valentine's. So they have this, you know, they posted this. It's like this mysterious card. It says, "You're such a tease." So one of their Valentine's events is going to be these tickets that can allow you to create one-of-a-kind Pegas. They're going to cost anywhere from 10,000 to 30,000 vis each. There's only going to be 2,000 of them, so they're going to be like super rare, and they are going to be able to create one-of-a-kind Pegas from these cards, essentially. And so with this alone, they're planning on burning about 42 million vis, okay, which would bring this up to 853 million burned out of 902 minted. So there would only be, you know, an extra 50 million vis out there in circulation. And then in addition to that, they announced a further a Valentine's breeding event that's going to be coming up. So I don't know what that entails, they haven't released the details on that yet. That is going to cause a lot more vis to be burned for breeding, essentially, especially if there's some sort of incentive to continue breeding. So this is going to be, I think we're still going to see some crazy things happening with vis over the coming weeks. And I mean, it is already quite insane. You can see just 2.5 weeks ago, we were at 3-cent vis. And the earnings at that were insane. Now we are at almost, we're at like 7x that. We're at 21, 22 cents. I've just been kind of tracking this here, and I noticed on this first kind of spike and pullback, I did a little Fibonacci retracement. We came back to the 618, which is a very popular level. So I kind of tracked that again on this next spike. And again, we wicked down right to very close to the 618. So it seems to be a bit of an effective tool so far in measuring these kind of pumps and potential drawbacks or dips to be able to buy more vis if that's something you're looking to do. But again, not financial advice. Please do your own research. If you're looking at this and you realize, the earnings potential for scholars is insane, and you're wanting to know, what is the earnings potential for a guild? And as you can see here, we just reached the bronze verified guild status here on Pegaxy. You can see there's quite a few guilds now, but we are here, which is 50 plus Pegas for the bronze. And so we'll give you an idea of what you could potentially earn at that bronze guild status. Okay, so we already went over kind of the breakdown per race or per day for one Pega. So we have 50 Pegas, and to be very conservative with the earnings, again, like we were conservative saying that you would earn about 300 vis per day per Pega you owned, we like to say with our profit split that we are going to earn 200 vis per day per Pega. Okay, so multiply that times 50 Pegas, and that is 10,000 vis per day that the guild will be bringing in earnings every single day from your scholars renting. And then obviously they're still making their percentage of that as well. So right now at the current price of vis, 10,000 vis per day is about $2,200 US every single day. Now, keep in mind that a lot of this, if you're, a guild and you're looking to scale up, like we have been, you're not, just cashing out all of that vis. You're not, taking profit on all of that. You're recycling that back into future breeds to be able to breed more and more Pegas, to be able to expand your stable, and to be able to scale up your earnings potential, right? And now let's talk about how do you actually claim vis, how do you cash out, and what are some of the profit-taking strategies that you can take part in without negatively affecting vis, because there are ways that you can make profit off of this. You can cash out to your stable coins or to your fiat currency without dumping the price of vis, without just straight selling your vis earnings on the marketplace. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, let's say we've accumulated 8,000 vis that we want to be able to profit off of. Okay, so if you come here on KyberSwap, 8,000 vis right now would get you about $1,700 USDC. Okay, so about 1,700 US. Now, rather than just selling this 8,000 vis, what you can do instead is you could use this vis to breed an additional Pega. Now, this is more so a profit-taking strategy for guild members and Pega owners, but you could use this 8,000 vis and you could actually get 2 0 out of 7 breeds out of that, or a single 1 out of 7 breed for that. Okay, and so if we did that, if we took the 8,000 vis and let's say we came back to our assets here and we have 2 0 out of 7s, we got a male and female here that are ready to breed, and we've got 8,000 vis. Okay, and let's say we've got all 4 of these, all right, because we actually kind of do. So we've got 2 males, 2 females, and we want to breed some additional offspring. So what that's going to cost you is the 8,000 vis, right? And then it's also going to cost you 30 PGX per thing, per breed. So PGX right now is here. Let me actually bring up PGX over here so we can look at the cost of PGX and vis together here. So it's going to cost you 60 vis for those 2 breeds, about $54, and then it's going to cost you the 60 PGX and then 8,000 vis. All right, so this is going to cost you $1,720, and then this is going to be another 53. So let's say it's going to cost you $1,775. All right. 1775 is what you're going to spend, but out of that, you are going to get 2 0 out of 7 Pegas. Okay, now let's take a look at the floor on Apollo here for a 0 out of 7 Pega. If you want to sell the offspring, that would net you $2,700 at the absolute floor here. The cheapest right here is this 2680. So that would be a profit of, if we make this negative and we add 2680, that would be a profit of $900 by using that VIS to breed new Pegas. And that's only selling one of those Pegas. Okay, so you would still have a 0 out of 7 Pega, and you would be able to profit $900. Now, say you want to sell both of them, right? Let's say you just want to fully cash out and get as much as you can from this. So you're going to sell one for 2680, and then you're going to sell another one for 2680. And there you go. Rather than cashing out $1,700 here, right? 1718, you have now made it so that you can cash out $3,500. So you have just doubled your profits by not selling the VIS on the market. And that will then burn that 8,000 VIS, which will help elevate the price of VIS even further, because the burning rate will go up with the minted supply staying the same. One thing with that, to note is, if you're selling your 0 out of 7 Pegas, then you're not going to be able to breed future 0 out of 7 Pegas, right? So your future breeding costs are going to be higher. So what you could do instead is you could take some of these guys right here, like say these guys just bred, and you have, 2 1 out of 7 breeds. What is a 1 out of 7 selling for? So that's 2,300 is the lowest. I'm kind of blocking it here, but 2,300 is the lowest for a 1 out of 7. So again, you could take these parent Pegas here. Sorry, you could take these Pegas here. You could breed 2 new offsprings with these, and that would give you 4 1 out of 7 Pegas plus 2 0 out of 7 Pegas, right? So these guys would all go up to 1 breed, and the new baby Pegas would be at 0. So let's go back to these numbers and go based off of the selling the parents, right? The 1 out of 7. And so the breeding cost is still going to cost you $1,775, right? Because that's going to cover your breeds of all 4 of these guys. So you've got 4 0 out of 7s. You're going to breed 2 new 0 out of 7s. All 4 of these are going to go up to 1 out of 7. Now, say you want to keep the same total number of Pegas, so you don't want to sell all of the 1 out of 7s here. Say you just want to sell 1 batch of the parents. So you have these 2 1 out of 7s. You're like, you know what? I want to sell those because we have 2 new 0 out of 7s that can replace them. And I still want to be able to take profit because I wanted to sell that 8,000 VIS. Okay. So what you can do is you still spent that, $1,775 on the breeds. And now each of those Pegas is only worth $2,300, but you have 2 of them, right? So you're going to sell 1. You're going to be in profit already, $525. You're going to sell another 1. And there you go, $2,825. Again, far more than you would have got just selling the VIS for $1,720. Okay, so essentially, if you're able to breed and sell the Pegas on the marketplace instead of just cashing out the VIS, you're going to be profiting so much more. Okay, and then even after that, you still have a pair of 1 out of 7 parents that you'll be able to continue breeding, and you're going to have the 0 out of 7s that you can breed another 0 out of 7 to keep expanding your stables for even cheaper. Okay, so that is probably the best profit-taking strategy you can take advantage of that helps support the entire game economy as a whole, because you can sell on the marketplace for USDT instead of VIS, right? So because this is using a stable coin, it has no impact on the price of VIS. And it will actually help boost the price of VIS because you're going to be burning more of the total supply every time you're breeding those Pegas. Okay, so that is your best option when it comes to taking profits in Pegaxy. Now, if you want to know how you can sell your Pegas, I'm going to show you here real quick. It's super easy. You just come to My Assets. You can do this with Pegas that are still on cooldowns as well, right? Like they don't have to be ready. All you're going to do is click Sell here. Oh, I'm blocking it Here, let me move this down. You're gonna click sell, and you're going to enter your price. You can select either USDT or PGX. Make sure you're using the right currency that you want. And let's say I want to sell this guy for $99,999. Keep in mind, when you sell your Pega, there is going to be a 3% fee that the market takes that goes towards the treasury of Pegaxy. But anyways, you create the list price, you click approve. You're just going to approve the spend transaction. We're not going to do it right now because we're not going to list it. Then you're going to click list to marketplace. Again, you're going to approve the transaction, and then it will be listed on the market. And then you'll be able to see it if you search for your Pega, or you're sorting by low to high. If you price it as like the floor price, you're going to be able to see it here. And there's going to be an option that you can edit the price right here on the marketplace as well. So if the floor starts moving up or something and you don't want to sell it too far below that, you can always come to the market, edit the price of your Pega, and then relist it right away. And it's just going to cost you that little MATIC fee, a couple cents to be able to adjust that. And then you can also, at any time, if it's on the marketplace already, it'll be the exact same thing. You'll be able to take back. You'll just be able to take it back off the marketplace. It'll come back into your assets and you'll be all set. You can see all of the, strength in the economy, all of these amazing, burning mechanisms and things in place with the breeding itself. Additionally, Corey, the CMO of Pegaxy, has just announced some future updates that they're planning in their roadmap. Things like prestiging Pegas, where you're going to have to breed your Pegas all the way up to 7 out of 7, and then you have to sacrifice one of your Pegas in order to prestige one Pega, and that's going to reset the breed counts. Breeds then of the prestige Pegas are going to cost more. You're going to be able to earn PGX in prestige races versus VIS in normal races. A whole bunch of crazy additional things, but that is not only going to, burn a ton of extra VIS in the breeding, because, the 7 out of 7 breeds, if we come back to the resources here, 7 out of 7 breeds are going to cost 84,000 VIS for one single pair, plus the 30 PGX, right? So 84,000 VIS just to breed those 7 out of 7 Pegas, and then you're going to be getting rid of one of those Pegas too in order to get the new prestige Pega. So not only are you going to be burning a ton more VIS and lowering the overall available supply of VIS that's out there, you're also going to be killing off a Pega. Okay, so there's going to be less Pegas here earning over time. So there's going to be population control worked into it, because this is where the issue starts to happen, is when the supply of Pegas, the population of Pegas, outpaces the demand in the user base, right? And right now we are still only at about 1/3 of the demand, because if you take into consideration, every single player, every scholar or renter can rent 3 Pegas. Okay, this isn't even accounting for owners of the Pegas themselves, but just the scholars, they can rent 3 Pegas. So let's assume everyone needs to have 3 Pegas to be kind of the full demand met. There's 127,000 Pegas in entirety right now in existence. If you come to the Pegaxy Discord alone, not including their Twitter, their Facebook, anything else, there is over 115,000 members. So almost even. The growth of their Discord channel alone has almost been keeping pace with the breeding of new Pegas, with the total supply of Pegas. So if we were to try to give 3 Pegas to every one of these Discord members that's trying to get one right now, trying to rent or become a scholar or an owner, we have 115,199 times 3. We would still need 345,000 Pegas in order to meet just this demand. And this is growing more and more every single day, as is the supply, but we are still so far off of the total demand required of this game. So that is why we're still seeing the crazy, prices in VIS and everything just booming with this, because the supply is still so far below the demand that this has so much longevity still to go. And then introducing things like the Pega burning mechanisms, that's going to help to reduce this total supply even further, going to reduce the total amount of VIS being minted, going to increase the amount being burned. A lot of amazing burning mechanisms and balancing mechanics that they're already planning on as a forethought. And keep in mind, this game is only 2.5 months old. This started November 15th, 2021. And we are on February 1st here. Okay, so 2.5 months, this game has absolutely exploded in popularity, and they have not spent a dime on traditional marketing or, you know, cheap show groups or advertising, anything like that. This has all been organic growth from such a strong, tight-knit community. The communication with the team is beyond any other play to earn NFT game in the entire space. Corey is always interacting with people in the Discord channel, with people on Twitter here. He's always posing questions to the Pegaxy community and asking for their feedback. You know, he'll put out these little videos and stuff, and he'll just be like, you know what, we're thinking about a few things. What do you guys think about this? And he'll bounce ideas off of the community and source ideas from the community, and, you know, admit whenever they do updates and stuff, he'll say, you know, this wasn't something that I thought of myself. This was something that came from talking with a lot of the bigger guilds and, you know, trying to strategize, problem solve for the longevity of the game and the economy. And so he's interacting with the community beyond what any other, you know, play to earn NFT gaming team has done in the past. And that is another reason that this is so bullish. Like, here's a thing here. How does this make you feel? These are just random numbers, not based off of any math, but in 12 months, you know, there's going to be a lot of Pegas. And so, you know, how would this look to you, essentially? And so he's just gauging the community's reaction and all of that, right? And he says, you know, to put it into perspective, killing 2,500 Pegas here could result in 19 million less VIS minted every single month, right? That's every single stadium here, the Poseidon stadiums, in circulation. So if there's 100 of these, that's, you know, 180 million less VIS, or whatever that is, or 1.8 billion VIS less every single month. So it's just great to see such great interaction and constant communication and transparency from the team. That is one of the reasons that I was so bullish in this project from the very beginning. The team kind of says it all. That is pretty much everything there is to know about Pegaxy at this point. If you want to keep updated with it, the best thing is to, you know, follow them on Twitter, follow them on Discord, all that sort of stuff. Now, if you are looking for a scholarship, just note we do have scholarships that we give out in Six Pack Gaming here in our guild, but, you know, we can only grow so fast. Like, you know, we showed already, the supply of Pegas is still only 1/3 of the demand. So that means not every player is going to be able to get a Pega yet. Okay, so we are constantly working on it. But if you are wanting to apply, we do have a wait list, but you can join the Six Pack Gaming Discord. You can come here to Scholar Applications. It lays out all the details for you, the profit split, all that sort of stuff, links you to an application form. Feel free to fill that out and start participating in the community. One of the ways that we like to bring on new scholars is we like to reward, you know, engagement, interaction in the community, support of fellow members. We want our guild to be quality over quantity. We want it to feel like a really tight-knit community and family. And I think a lot of the members in the Discord, whether scholars or not yet, I think a lot will agree that we have one of the strongest kind of family-based, interconnected, awesome communities in this space. And it's a great place to be a part of, whether, you know, you're already a scholar or you're a hoping scholar in the future. It's a great place to interact with, you know, fellow investors and gamers and scholars and that sort of thing, and, you know, talk different projects, talk about different things going on, and just be a part of, you know, something bigger than yourself, right? Be a part of a strong community that's building and growing and working together to build this thing into a life-changing opportunity for everyone involved, really. And, you know, that is one of the biggest reasons and motives and drivers for me is, you know, helping make that difference, contributing to you guys in the betterments of your futures as well. We've already had several of our sort of first initial scholars be able to purchase their very own Pegas here through the scholarships and, you know, start their path towards becoming a manager, building their own stables and all of that sort of stuff. So it's amazing to be able to see that, amazing to see you guys kind of reinvesting in bettering your future, and just such an incredible thing that this game is offering so many people right now. There's such great opportunity, not just for yourself to be prosperous, but to help so many others around you be prosperous as well. And so I'm super excited about the future of Pegaxy. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys in it already? Do you own a Pega? Are you thinking of getting into it? If I left anything out, please just, if you got any questions, just leave them down below and I will do my best to answer them. I think I covered everything I could here though, but maybe there's something I missed. And of course, if you like this video, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. It was actually a lot to put all this together and to go through all the different things that revolves around Pegaxy, but I think we covered all of it. One additional thing I did want to point out. So in regards to the races, a lot of people right now just see that it's an RNG race. There's no skill base to it. And a lot of people, again, are still just looking at the 2D race where it's just little pictures scrolling across the screen. One of the future updates in the roadmap is full skill-based earnings, player-controlled races, and they continually reference Mario Kart as a key inspiration for what they're hoping to accomplish. Now, they don't know exactly, how or the best way that they will implement that, or how they'll kind of stagger it into stages, because they don't want to just flip the entire game upside down one day to the next. They want to gradually work things in, get feedback from the community, test things out, see what the community likes most, dislikes most, again, be able to fight back against bots and malicious activities and all of that sort of stuff as well. But there is a huge future in Pegaxy and the actual gameplay behind it and skill and all of that sort of stuff. So if you were someone that was kind of sitting on the sidelines and like, oh, this is just a slot machine, there's nothing to this, it's not a real game, you are vastly mistaken. And you got to look into it a little bit more. Even if you don't if you don't plan on investing in this, it's worth doing the research, seeing what this team has been doing, because this is one of, if not the strongest starts to any play to earn NFT game that I've seen in the space, period. Right? So that is everything with Pegaxy. Be sure to smash that thumbs up button, make sure you subscribe and got notifications turned on so you never miss the future Pegaxy updates or any of the other future upcoming play to earn NFT games. That is everything. Wow, what a crazy video. I hope you guys are all doing well. The family here, and myself included, is just getting over COVID. That's why I haven't had a video up in a little bit here, and I've had to take a little bit more cuts in this thing because I randomly cough or whatever. But I hope you guys are staying healthy, and as always, till next time, train hard, game hard, make those life-changing gains, and we will see you in the next one. Peace out, everyone.